Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to For Your Entertainment. My name is MC Hammer, and it's great to be back this month. And I'd like to introduce you to a person that was on our show last month, and he never left because he's now part of the show. Eddie Collins. Eddie, what the heck are you doing here tonight?
Thank you, MC. It's a great opportunity to be here, to be with everyone, all of our great viewers. But let me tell you something, MC. When you think about the word magician, you automatically think of a top hat and the tux,
right?
And the guy with the cane and the rabbit comes out of the hat. But we have got a gentleman tonight who is unbelievable because he meshes comedy with magic and illusion.
You talk a good show,
illusion.
Eddie.
Where is he?
Yeah, you talk a good show. Where the heck is he?
He must be yourself.
What?
Well, there you are. Oh, hi.
KooKoo, the cartoon magician.
Yes,
Welcome, KooKoo. Welcome.
Allow me to demonstrate. Oh, it's a long story. Well, it's a long tongue. You understand. They should have seen the look that I had on my face the first time I saw my tongue do that. I couldn't believe my eyes either. I looked something kind of like this. They're still there. I felt it in there. Do not try that at home. The kids know that. They know that. Try it in school. Mm-hmm. What? No. Never do that anywhere. Any of you. Especially you, sir.
Yes. Right? What exactly is a cartoon magician? Explain a little bit how that's different from it.
That's a good question. Actually, this brings me to a lot of philosophical perspectives I have on magic and cartoons. I think it was Arthur C. Clarke, the British science fiction author.
Okay.
He said that any advanced form of technology is indistinguishable from magic. So the earliest films and cartoons and stuff, people that were making those were actually magicians.
Okay.
They were utilizing things like, there's little circles that would spin, you look through the slot and you see a horse galloping. The first people to see those, they were seeing magic, basically. That was their perspective on it. So I kind of look back, I'm reverse engineering all that, and I try to recreate things you see happening in cartoons using magic methods.
Okay, great. And how did you get started as far as this line of work?
Well, before I answer that question,
right?
We're going to have a lot of discussions, a lot of magical demonstrations. Before I commit myself to any sort of mentally taxing tasks, I have to warm up my thinking cap. Oh, hi, Mom. That's my mom operating the camera. But let's see here. It's a little windy here in the television studio, but I think we can do it. Ooh, not bad, right? This is so weird. I thought I had but I had moment of truth. Drum roll, please, on your knees. Here we go, people. Can you see up here? Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. It appears as though this thinking cap is about warmed up. Thank you. Thank you. You're too kind. Really.
Let's come back to revert to greats like the Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers, Jerry Lewis. I mean, you're kind of them all rolled in one. Were they great inspirations? Was this in your household, or were you just going back to see what was happening early on?
That's the highest compliment I've ever been paid. that whole list of people all rolled into one.
Yeah.
Well, to go back to cartoons, I would actually say Three Stooges very much are a cartoon act.
Right.
Right. That's kind of exactly what I'm doing right there. I'm syncing things up with sound effects to add punctuation and comedy. Definitely, there were some VHS tapes floating around. Pretty much all of those I actually just mentioned. They definitely subconsciously are big influences.
And that's since you're a child, you wanted to do that?
Even as a kid, not necessarily wanted to do the act. Well, that's actually a funny question because as a small child, I would watch Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, and I'd say, I want to do that. I can't do that. You know what I mean? Because I'd never, in show business, I just assumed you had to be an A-list.
Right.
It's the only way you could be in show business. I never realized you could be a small business in show business.
We have a home viewer already, okay? Ooh. Home viewer, come on in. You're on For Your Entertainment.
Hello? Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah.
What's your question for KooKoo?
That's the wrong number. Yes, my refrigerator is running. Thank you. I went to art school, so that's where I learned, the craft of making different props and things like that. I wasn't even
And
a
that all
magician.
intertwines together too.
Exactly. That's where I met my wife.
Okay.
She was a glassblower there. She actually works at Albright right now.
All right.
She's the
Right across the street.
Yeah, she
Right
works
here,
in the art
right
gallery. But she was into clowning. I actually accompanied her. We went to a clown camp together. She was the one that attended. I just stayed in the hotel
There's a
room.
clown camp?
Yeah.
Did you know there was a clown camp?
I know now.
Priscilla Moosberger Clown Camp. It's like a 1-week clown college. That was kind of an influence on me there, just spending time with her. And then after I got out of art school, I was just working a job. It was kind of boring. People weren't coming up. So I found a dollar snatcher. If you're not familiar, you can set $1 out and say, is that your dollar? Or better yet, here's the tip. Work on your reflexes. It's a money magnet. But yeah, it's a string on a reel. I made this one to make it more cartoon themed with a cartoon magnet.
I love the academy.
Yeah, this is kind of my cartoon spin on it. This is actually the thing that got me started interacting with people doing magic, because people saw the dollar coming up and they thought it was a magic trick. Which at that point I wasn't presenting it as one. It was just kind of a way to interact. They came back to see more and I had to keep learning. So that's what kind of got me started on that whole path of really performing.
Watching a lot of your videos, what I noticed is that you're very comfortable, no matter what the situation is. If it's an adult or a child, you can interact and you know your audience.
Well, I will say that innately, the energy from cartoons is something that kids can relate to.
Right.
But the classic cartoons are my real influences. So it really is the adults that get the references. People ask me, do you also perform for adults? And the answer is yes, they're the only ones that really know what Acme is. There are some impressive intellectual children that do catch me off guard.
And children with special needs, they love this kind of stuff.
I was a child with special needs in a sense. I went to Delaware Valley Friends School, which is a school for learning differences. I had ADD growing up. It's kind of a culture that I'm very accustomed to. My biggest fan in the world who comes to see me every week, he is on the spectrum himself. Henry, if you're watching, he comes every single Monday night to see me in a restaurant perform for the past 6.5 years. There was one week where he saw me 5 times.
That's scary.
Scary in a good way.
You might rub off on him.
Yeah, exactly. He might be my understudy. He actually does. He does deliver my punchlines.
Talk about the restaurants. How did the Applebee chain come your way?
Well, I kind of came their way because that's during that time where I was in the mall studying magic, going through forums where other magicians discuss things, and I learned about restaurant magic. Okay. So I translated what I was doing there to something that could bring people to restaurants and create an atmosphere there. And so I approached. I think Applebee's the one in Audubon, the one that I would normally be at tonight, Tuesday nights, 6 to 8, Applebee's Audubon. Right. That was my first one, and I've been at that one and the one in Exeter for almost 7 years now.
It's kind of an interesting concept to eat and have a show at the same time.
Right, right.
We have a caller, don't we?
How you doing?
Is this James?
No, this is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Oh, hi, Jeffrey. What is your question, Jeffrey?
Do you like Subway, and do you believe that rabbit feet are...
Yes, I do have Prince Albert in the can. You see, this is what happens when you bring on my act. Yeah. This is the calls we generate. I love it, though.
I like to bring up that crazy car of yours that you drive around.
Yeah, it looks like the Brady Bunch vehicle.
Do we have that video of the car? There it is.
There we go. That's got to turn a lot of heads. KooKoo, what kind of car is that? Is it a Ford, Chevy, or what is that car?
That's a good question. Well, I like to say it's an Acme Mobile, but underneath all of that facade, it is a Crown Victoria. It is a Ford. People ask me what year it is. It's a 90.
Wow.
BC.
Last millennium, right? It has to cause a scene going down the street. Somebody does not know that car.
Oh, my God.
They stick a dynamite up on top. The kids must go, what is this?
Yeah, well, the show begins well before the show begins. Driving in a car like that, when you're on the highway, you're on stage.
Is there anything else you can perform?
That's a good point. Yes. I'll meet you out here.
Well, it's my lovely wife, Suzanne, who's going to volunteer for us tonight.
Suzanne, everyone. Suzanne, this is very exciting. Will you face the at-home audience? Thank you. This is my bucket. I'd like you to take the 2 handles and keep the bucket against your chest. Perfect, Suzanne. Now, Suzanne, have you had your ear checked lately? If she answered quickly, she can hear quite well. This is not like the doctor. This should be more clinical, more entertaining. I hope. May I check your ear?
How come she don't hear me, KooKoo, when I talk to her?
Oh, okay, this might be why. It's earwax. I'm so sorry, sis. That's not what I was going for. I will try that again. Let's see what you have here. Suzanne. That's a big one. Do you have another? Let me see what you have. She is loaded. How many has she had? She really is loaded, isn't she? Now, you're pretty close to Suzanne. She is your lawyer? She's your lawyer?
Yeah.
She plays the fifth. She has comment on this.
She's my wife first, then lawyer.
Oh, I see. It's a family practice. Well, I know you're thinking about your lawyer here. You're thinking that was kind of eerie. We don't need to use ears. What if instead I could reach up into the air and pluck coins out of thin air? They're all over. There's one right here. There's another one right over up there. And I'd never forget about that one right there. Now, some people think I cheat when I do this. Mainly Suzanne. I don't blame you, miss. I probably do cheat, but I don't know how. I'm just glad it works. You know what I mean? You see this one back here? Literally. This one right here. Some people think I use two. They're right. There's a second one right over there. But I don't stop at two. I stop at nothing. They keep coming. You're actually going to hear the next one, especially Suzanne. Let's face it, this woman just had her ear checked moments ago. Listen. You hear that? There's actually a couple of them right there. But I'll be honest, there's more than a couple. There's a whole bunch. You see, there's another and another and another and another and another and another. Look at that. Another one right there. That's called close-up magic. For obvious reasons, yes. Now, if I were feeling greedy, I'd actually reach up here and grab a whole handful, just like that. Wouldn't that be cool if I could do that? I will admit that. Well, Suzanne, face the people right here, because I cannot help but notice, miss, that you are a million here. You got a dollar behind the counter, a little elbow grease, a little bit off this, a little bit right here, some right over here, some right there. And Suzanne, let me step around you here. Wait a second, that's kind of strange. She came up with that off the top of her head. Suzanne, if you would please, I'd like you to cup your two hands out in front of you. Pour every last one of those coins into the hand, put them together in one hand. I'd like you to use your empty hand to imagine grabbing a coin out of the air. Imagine dropping the coin into the bucket. She's done this before. Oh boy. Suzanne, take this real quick. Now, do you feel a little tingling in your nose? Keep the bucket against your chest, Suzanne, and I'd just like you to blow. A big round of applause for Suzanne! Wait, I'm going to take one step further. I know we're running short on time. But real quick, there's a saying, a penny saved is a penny earned that looks like this. That brings whole new meaning to that expression. But I don't like the penny. I prefer the $half. She looks like she sees this kind of thing every day. I don't blame you, Suzanne. Well, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to do a different ending to this trick. Real quick. I'm going to find one last coin. Suzanne, face the people at home. Okay, so let's see here, Suzanne. Earwax. Let's try this again, and Suzanne, I'm scared of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your help, Suzanne. Thank you.
KooKoo, the cartoon magician.
All right.
Fabulous fan. We know you've got some shows coming up. Let's pluck a couple of things you got coming up here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Monday night, I'm in this county here at Applebee's Exeter. Tuesday night, I'm in Applebee's Audubon. And Thursday night, I'm in Applebee's Pottstown. All of those are from 6 to 8, free magic at your tableside. I'm thinking, do we have time to squeeze in the last?
Go ahead.
Should we try this?
Yeah, let's
We
do
always
it.
cut it short if we have to. Now, at home audience, I just want to say I am going to use a marker. Do not sniff markers. Never ever take a marker and do not try that at home. Try that at work. So bad. I'm actually going to attempt to create a character of sorts. So hold still, sir. I'm going to kind of capture your essence. This is not going to be you. This is going to be you.
Yeah.
Now, don't be self-conscious. Everyone, look at this man. It's not going to be you. Besides, he's a TV host. He's used to that. This is going to be a character for you. Okay. Now, I want you to see my artistic process. It starts off a little sketchy. This is it right here. I know it looks like eggs and bacon. Okay. It's going to get better. I'm going to develop this character and bring it to life. I don't mean that literally, just figuratively. Some people find my art to be quite moving. I don't mean literally moving. I mean emotionally moving.
Look at that.
You're looking at it like it's alive. Is everything okay? Are you alive?
What? I can't hear you.
Are you alive?
I still can't hear you.
Are you alive?
Oh, give me some ears.
Oh, ears. Okay, no wonder you can't hear. You need ears. Here you go. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
I forgot the ear holes. That's an important detail. I'm so sorry, sir. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's much better. I can hear you now. Give me some hair.
Well, listen, we might have to cut this
Yeah.
short, though. Let me see. Here we go.
That's what,
Boy, do I look handsome.
that is,
How about a nose?
that's what you call Facebook, right?
Yes, you do. Big face.
Oh, you. You stink.
Everyone's a critic. The nerve of some drawings. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you do your sign.
Yeah. KooKoo, it's already time's up already. We had a blast, Eddie. It's about time we're ready to say goodbye. So
It's been a great time, a great night. Watch KooKoo at Applebee's and all the great shows coming up. Find him on Facebook and his website as well. Your website, real quick.
KooKooMagic.wix.com/thecartoonmagician. But all over social media, just go to @KooKooMagic. KooKoo spelled KOOKOO. And here you go, guys. As I said, this is a character for you, so here you go.
With that, MC Hammer,
yes,
I'm Eddie Collins. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
welcome here, Eddie.
Thank you.
For Your Entertainment on BCTV is supported by Bonnie Eshelman.